Hello, viewers and my esteemed soccer players. You're welcome to another episode of this channel where we take steps together to reach your football destination, which is to become a professional player. On today's presentation, the step we will be taking for the journey or the topic we will be discussing is titled Work on Your Fitness. To be physically fit for the game is so important that it cannot be overemphasized. But before we dive into it, I want to put out a disclaimer. The presentations of this channel are for informational and educational purposes only and should not be taken as professional advice. Therefore, the use or application of any information herein is at your own risk. In the previous episode, we discussed about setting a goal, which is becoming a professional soccer player, the commitment and the ingredients or supplies or factors required to achieve the goal. If you are new to this channel, you might want to see our previous episodes to update yourself. Also, subscribe and click the notification button so that you can be notified when a new presentation is posted on this channel. Now that our goal is clearly defined, a strong desire to make a pursuit is in place, and all the ingredients, determination, endurance, perseverance, and enthusiasm required to prepare, strengthen, and spice up the action are available, including the God factor. The first line of action will be to work on your fitness. For someone who has not played soccer for a long time or is returning to the game after a long layoff, perhaps due to injury or some other reasons, the first thing to do is to regain your fitness level or form. To do that, there are specific football workouts and exercises you need to embark on to regain your fitness and get yourself into shape and form physically. I will mention them later. For someone who is currently actively playing soccer, perhaps in a club or even in a park or in the street, if you are struggling with keeping up with physical fitness or meeting the physical demands of the game, you might need to re-examine or re-evaluate your choice of physical fitness training. Perhaps there is something you are missing or getting wrong in your approach to fitness training. Stay with me and I will throw a light on that later on this episode. Soccer is a physical and strenuous activity. Therefore, physical fitness is of paramount importance. Without it, you cannot play the game very well, nor last in the game, because you will get tired quickly, and tired legs cannot play the game. To build fitness, for someone returning to the game after a long layoff, here are some of the steps to follow. This is also applicable to those who are actively playing soccer but wants to maintain and sustain their fitness level. First, you start with running. Running is essential because football is a game that involves running through and through from the beginning to the end of the entire 90 minutes. Sometimes it could be jogging, other times it will be explosive and high intensity runs, depending on the ball situation. Take note of this. A footballer covers an average distance of 10 to 11 kilometers per game. For this reason, the game requires pace, strength, stamina, and endurance. Running helps to boost endurance and improve strength, speed, and mental focus. Therefore, you must get used to running to build and boost your fitness. This is because if you are not fit, your work rate in the game will be low and your performance will be very poor. No player wants that. First, you start with short distance running, where you run for about 15 to 30 minutes a day for a week, and then move to long distance running, where you run for about 45 minutes to an hour or up to 90 minutes for a couple of times or more in a week. When you have warmed your body up with short and long distance running, you will need to switch over to sprint, forward and backward sprinting, and tempo running also, in order to build a soccer conditioning base. This is where some active players who are struggling with maintaining fitness in the game are missing it. Sprinting and tempo running helps to condition your body for the pace, the runs, and the sprinting demands of a power sport like football. So take note of that. Sprinting forward and backward is where you run from one point to another and back to start, and at an increased pace or speed. This is not jogging. Let me take it again. Sprinting forward and backward is where you run from one point to another and back to start, and at an increased pace or speed. Tempo running is where you maintain the same pace or speed from beginning to the end of the running. For a sprint, you could do a 5 yard shuttle run for 25 yards or 10 yards for 30 yards, or sprint back and forth to 50 meters or 100 meters. But because you are still building for fitness, starting small and gradually making progress is recommended to avoid overworking your body. So you can begin with 5 yard shuttles for 25 yards. Regarding tempo running, Jack Daniels, the author of Daniels' running formula, defined tempo running as the pace or tempo at which you can run an hour race. The pace should be maintained and sustained for the entire period of the race without giving in to fatigue. For soccer fitness example, Johannes Forsberg, a Swedish soccer speed coach, recommended tempo running of 100 meters, the length of a football field, for 18 to 22 seconds, and 200 meters forth and back for 38 to 48 seconds as a rule of thumb for the distance and time. This could be done for a couple of times a week or more. Take note of this: sprint and tempo running should not be embarked on without first attaining a certain measure of fitness level because of the physical nature of these workouts. To avoid health issues, starting with light training and gradually moving to high intensity and explosive physical workouts is always recommended. There are other workouts you can also engage in to help your fitness, such as squatting to strengthen your legs and thighs, push ups to strengthen your hands, shoulder, and body, abdominal exercises for flat and strong stomach, and many others. More information and techniques for building a soccer specific conditioning base or building the aerobic base necessary for soccer can be found in my book titled Soccer Book: How to Develop Your Soccer Talent and Become a Professional. It is available on Amazon, and the links can be found on the screen or in the description section of this channel. Also, you can learn about other types of workouts or exercises for building physical fitness on your own. You can do a research of your own to obtain the information, and I encourage you to do so because I am not an authority in this area. In the next episode, we'll be taking the next step towards our destination, which is to work on your skill. Stay with me on this channel so that we can take the step together. Also, if you have questions and comments, feel free to send them in. As I close it here, I wish you all the best. Play well, play safe, reach your goal. See you in the next episode. Bye.